Alright, everybody. It's me, the SP Man. I'm back. And in today's YouTube video and also in today's podcast episode, I'm going to be talking a little bit about BDSM. What's it all about? But before I do that, because I haven't uploaded a video since my last episode. Well, actually, I've done more episodes since then. But I haven't done a video to correlate with one of those other episodes. Partly because I had some broadband issues a while ago, so I wasn't able to upload any videos or files. So here we are, and I'm going to be filming this as we discuss the next episode. A couple of changes since then. My beard's not now black. I've dyed my beard, and I've dyed my hair black too. And I also have a color changing light bulb, which is currently set to blue, so that's fun. Anyway, without further ado, and before I start the episode, just to let y'all know, my podcast is now available on most major platforms, so that's Spotify, Apple Podcasts. It's available on Google Podcasts, Podbean. It's on most. See, so it's not hard to find. Don't forget to go over to my YouTube channel, which is the Aspie Man, and my Instagram, which is the Aspie Man. So, without further ado, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe for more. And leave a comment below. Get in touch. I want to hear what you guys want to talk about. So, without further ado, let's get on with today's episode, which is episode 12. Well, hello. Ooh, what's going on there? I'll need to redo that. Ooh, that's not good. Technical difficulties, that's what happens when you forget to turn off your software playthrough on input. So let's take that off. Try again. Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to episode 12. A new episode right here with me, the Aspie Man. And in today's episode, we're going to be discussing BDSM. What's it all about? Just gonna let y'all know that as I'm recording this podcast, I'm also recording a YouTube video, so you can have a visual idea of what I'm talking about in today's episode. So if you want to watch this rather than just listen to it, head over to my YouTube channel, and you can catch me on there over at the Aspie Man. So, BDSM, what is it all about? Well, let's break it down first. What is BDSM? What does it stand for? So basically, it stands for bondage, sadism, masochism, a dynamic between what would normally be a dominant person and a submissive person. There are different subgroups and kinks surrounding BDSM, and different types of dominant, different types of submissive as part of those subgroups. For example, you have DDLG, which stands for Daddy Dominant Little Girl, or age regression, as it's otherwise known, where the dominant would be called Daddy, and the submissive would be called Baby Girl. There's Primal and Prey, in their dominant and submissive terms respectively, Rigger and Rope Bunny, which is essentially rope play. There's role-playing scenarios, which are often brought into dominant, submissive scenarios. And there's master-slave. So there's so many different types of dominant terminologies and submissive terminologies and different kinks what people enjoy in the BDSM lifestyle. You can have BDSM as part of your everyday relationship with your partner. You could have BDSM just solely as that dynamic where you just seek a submissive for a dominant submissive relationship. So technically you would identify as single, but you have a dominant and submissive relationship. There are people out there who are in relationships but don't have that BDSM dynamic with each other, but they have a BDSM dynamic with somebody else, or they bring people into their relationship. So there's so many different areas and different styles and types. It's so diverse. It's so incredibly diverse. And it's becoming more prominent in today's society. But how would you know if you were into BDSM? How would you know if you were dominant or submissive? The only way I could break that down for you and describe it is through self-exploration. So by being honest with yourself, what you like, what your feelings and your desires are. Discovery with another consenting partner, where you talk about the things you like, the ideas that you have, and you experiment with them together. Obviously, BDSM takes a lot of communication, a lot of trust with a partner. So trust is extremely important. You have to communicate and discuss on so many levels to understand what you both like, what you both don't like. There's also health and safety is a huge aspect too. It's all about doing it safely. Because if you're new to BDSM, if you're new to being a dominant, or if you're new to being a submissive, it's all about doing it safely. So learn who your partner is, what they like. Make sure they understand what you like. Make sure that you have that connection, that trust, so that you both understand each other, and that way then it prevents things from getting out of hand. Make sure you both understand where things lie in terms of consent too. That's very important. You've also got to be able to learn to read each other's body language too, using like safe words as well, or reading hand signals, which I'll talk about that in a second. So the only way you can tell if you were dominant or submissive is by trying these things out and seeing if it's something you'd enjoy, really. Once you find where you think you fit into that dynamic, and you're with a partner you can trust, and then you can experiment on stuff and discover more about you, because it's a lifelong thing. In the BDSM lifestyle, it's a lifelong thing. You're constantly learning things that you enjoy. You're constantly finding out more new things which you probably never heard of before that you may enjoy. So it's a lifelong thing. So if you're just starting out, don't worry about it. As time goes by, you'll learn and understand more, and you'll have more experience, whether you're dominant or submissive. I mentioned about safe words, hand signals, reading body language. So if you're in a scenario or a play session with a partner, you got to be able to, through that trust, through that communication, and how well you know them and understand each other, you start to learn their body language. So as you're engaging in an act, you can tell just by how they react if it's something they are enjoying, or anything that might make them uncomfortable, because it's a headspace that we get into, and sometimes we might not be able to use a safe word because we find we might not be able to speak. So that's why hand signals can come in useful. So that's why you have to be aware of each other's body language and keep an eye out for those hand signals too. Which someone who I've been talking to, who I will only refer to as Baby Girl, who is going to be listening to this and possibly watching this too. So hello to you, Baby Girl. And thank you so much for your amazing insight into this subject. And it was actually Baby Girl who had told me that hand signals are another way of communicating when you're not able to speak. So you could discuss hand signals by way of touching each other, or touching a surface. Because let me give you an example, and this is what Baby Girl described to me actually, is if you're, say, choking your partner, And when I say choking, I don't mean you're crushing your windpipe. There's a certain way of doing it, and I'll explain after. But say if you're in the middle of choking your partner, and they suddenly decide they don't want to do that. If they tap the hand that's choking them, you may possibly get confused by what that means. So, because they, in that headspace in that moment, they could be pulling your hand because they may signal that they want you to choke them harder, or they may be gripping your hand because they're enjoying it. So, a hand signal to say stop in that situation would be tapping your other hand, or it would be tapping the bed frame or the mattress and showing something to say, I'm not liking that, let go, or you're doing it too hard. So use hand signals to communicate. As if you can't talk, if you are in such a deep headspace you can't physically speak. So that's just all about health and safety, I suppose, there. Speaking about being safe, you need to also be aware of fake DOMs and fake subs. Because these kind of people, these are usually 50 Shades of Crap fans. Just, no. Okay? No. Just because you watch 50 Shades of Grey, you suddenly think that you're a dominant. You suddenly think you're submissive. No. It does not work like that. Because in most cases, submissives who think they enjoy certain things but actually don't, and they get with a dominant into a situation where they think they're enjoying it, they're actually not, and then a lot of confusion comes into play because they then be saying, actually, no, I don't like that, don't do this, don't do that, and then you're just confusing the dominant's head there, because, you know, if you don't like it, don't say you like it. You know, it's a miscommunication, and it can be quite potentially dangerous. And also emotionally affecting too, because you could be messing around with the other dominant's feelings, because he could then be growing and developing a connection to someone that isn't who and what they say they are. So, fake DOMs and fake subs are a major thing to be cautious about in any dom-sub dynamic. Dominants need to be careful of fake subs, because there can be a lot of trouble there. Fake subs usually are people who are not communicative and open and honest enough, or don't really know or fully understand what they feel, what they might want, and it can lead to some potentially dangerous situations. Yeah. Fake DOMs, on the other hand, again, can lead to potentially dangerous situations, because fake DOMs, especially in guys, they think that they automatically get a girl on their knees or get a submissive to do what they're told just by telling them. It doesn't work that way. Dominance is, I don't know if anybody knows this or not, but dominance is actually given by the submissive. It's entrusted to you, and just as much as it is given to you, it can also be taken away. So the real person there in control is the submissive, because she chooses to submit to you. She chooses to allow you to tell her what to do, or him, depending on what your orientation is, because you get female dominants too, or they are called DOMs, D-O-M-M-E. Male dominants are abbreviated to DOM, D-O-M. So, fake dominants can be dangerous, because they go in there expecting the relationship to be exactly what they want it to be, and they usually end up forcing things, coercing, controlling in a very abusive, toxic way. And that's mostly because they've seen 50 Shades of Grey and thought, oh, I want to do that. And no, there's a lot that goes into it. And that's why with certain play sessions, you have to discuss them before and after. Before, so you know and understand what to expect, and after, so you can talk about how it's been, what parts you've enjoyed, what parts you thought could have gone a little better or differently. It's about complimenting your partner too, which comes under aftercare, which is extremely important for any dominant to their submissive.